Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's been an interesting couple days, I guess, while I was out. And yeah, it's cold. Literally woke up this morning at 9 o'clock and realized I slept 40 out of the previous 48 hours at that point. So, yeah. Apparently my body needed it because I slept it. One thing I do want to talk about today before we get started: why Biden's Ukraine win was Zelensky's loss. Oh, that better be funny, LJ, because yeah. So, when Russia invaded Ukraine nearly 3 years ago, President Biden set three objectives for the U.S. response. Ukraine's victory was never among them. The phrase the White House used to describe its mission at the time, supporting Ukraine for as long as it takes, was intentionally vague. It also raised the question, as long as it takes to do what? We were deliberately not talking about territorial parameters, overseeing Russian policy. The U.S., in other words, made no promise to help Ukraine recover all of the land Russia had occupied, and certainly not the vast territories in eastern Ukraine and the Crimean Peninsula that taken in its initial invasion in 2014. The reason was simple. In the White House's view, doing so was beyond Ukraine's ability, even with robust help from the West. It was not going to be a success story ultimately. The more important objective was for Ukraine to survive as a sovereign, democratic, free country to pursue integration with the West. That was one of the three major objectives Biden set. He also wanted the U.S. and its allies to remain united, and he insisted on avoiding direct conflict between Russia and NATO. Looking back on his leadership during the war in Ukraine, certain to shape his legacy as a statesman, Biden has achieved those three objectives, but success on those limited terms provides little satisfaction even to some of his closest allies and advisors. It's unfortunately the kind of success where you don't get to feel great about it, because there's so much suffering for Ukraine and so much uncertainty about where it's ultimately going to land. For Ukrainians, disappointment with Biden has been building throughout the invasion, and they have expressed it ever more openly since the U.S. presidential elections ended and Trump's victory. In a podcast that aired in early January, Zelensky said the U.S. had not done enough under Biden to impose sanctions against Russia and to provide Ukraine with weapons and security guarantees. With all due respect to the United States and the administration, Zelensky told Lex Freeman, I don't want the same situation like we had with Biden. I ask for sanctions now, please, and weapons now. The criticism was unusually pointed and seems all the more remarkable given how much support the U.S. has given to Ukraine during Biden's tenure. $66 billion in military assistance alone since the February 2022 invasion. Combine that with all the aid Congress has approved for Ukraine's economic, humanitarian, and other needs, and the total comes to around 183 billion as of last September. The U.S. government watchdog created in 2023 to monitor and account for all the assistance. So there's a U.S. watchdog group watching all that money, where it's going. Zelensky and some of his allies insist that the U.S. has been too cautious in standing up to Russia, especially when it comes to granting Ukraine a clear path to NATO membership. It is very important that we share the same vision for Ukraine's security for future in the EU and NATO, the Ukrainian president said during the most recent visit to the White House in September. It goes into a lot more fluff on the story, but essentially, Biden never wanted Ukraine to win. There was a story sometime back that got removed that the U.S. government wanted Ukraine to deplete Russia. You can't find that story now. It's gone. I disagree, Max. Max. Let me start with Biden was sitting on $7 billion in presidential drawdown authority at the beginning of last year. Well, Congress stopped aid to Ukraine for 6 months. I thoroughly believe that the goal of the U.S. government was to not to save Ukraine, but to make Russia waste as much resources as possible. I just wanted to bring that up because it kind of ties into why aid was stopped for so long, even with billions in presidential drawdown authority, and it still wasn't sent. Just an eye-opening thing that really should have to that we need to look at more. Fetal state. Sorry, LJ, that was... But yeah, I do agree that it's interesting that article comes out the last day of Biden's presidency. It seems odd timing. That there's more to it than what that story is saying, and of course, one thing I do want to point out here. So here it says the reports by Simon Schuster. But you go here, and why is his name in Russian? Why is the byline in Russian? So yeah, there's some oddities with that. But again, article by Simon Schuster from X. But there's his name in Russian. Why would his byline be in Russian from the Times? Or Time magazine or whatever it's supposed to be. There's something with the timing on that article. Yeah. So there's things about that article that are, I want to say, ring, have hit a note with me, but there's other things that just don't seem right. I don't know. That's pretty much the story with all mass media now, unfortunately. Anyways, before we get into the operational update, every Sunday, Zelensky puts out a video showing why Ukraine needs more air support. And here is that video, starting with Kharkiv City. Or Kyiv City, sorry. Zaporizhia. Dnipro. Kherson. Donetsk. Dnipro. Zaporizhia. Oh, that's why I had it. I had it playing at Mach speed. Let me play that again at normal. Oh, come on. Now that we see that at its normal speed, I want to ask you, did you see any military vehicles in that? I didn't. Not one single video that he's put out asking for more air support has shown a single military vehicle getting hit. Russia is attacking civilians. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anyway, operational information as of 8 a.m. January 19th regarding the Russian invasion. As always, the report starts with Glory to Ukraine. The 1061st day of the large-scale armed aggression by the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. In total, 100 99 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Pokrovsk had 98 of those assault actions. 98 in one location, really. Yesterday, the enemy launched 5 missile and 25 airstrikes on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements. In particular, it deployed 7 missiles and dropped 37 guided aerial bombs. In addition, it carried out about 5,000 artillery strikes, 117 of them from multiple launch rocket systems, and deployed 2,420 kamikaze drones. The aggressor carried out airstrikes in particular in the areas of the settlements of Lushkivka, Shakivka, Andriivka, Borshkivka, Markova, Petrivka, Oridny, Rozniny, Vesely, Temrivka, Constantinople, and Novosilka. Over the past 24 hours, the defense forces, aviation, missile forces, and artillery have struck 8 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment, 2 air defense stations, 1 control point, 1 fuel and ammunition depot, 1 electronic warfare system, and 6 other important enemy targets. Ukraine is definitely putting the screws to the Russians behind the contact line. In the Kharkiv direction, the enemy stormed positions of our troops in the Voschansk area 6 times. The defense forces repelled the enemy actions near Petropavlivka. Oh, I'm halfway through it. So, Lazova and Pishkani. In the Kupiansk direction, where 9 attacks by the invaders took place during the day. Hopping over to Deep State map. And Kharkiv, Voschansk. Coming over from Kharkiv to Kupiansk. Petropavlivka. Lazova. Pishkani. So, those were the areas of the assaults. Moving down to the Le Mans direction. Over the past day, the enemy attacked 11 times in Le Mans direction. They tried to penetrate our defenses near the settlements of Zelenigay, Proshatrevne, Kopanki, Novoyehorovka, Novosadova, Novolubivka, and Zarechny. In the Service direction, the enemy stormed our positions near Bilogorivka once, but was unsuccessful. Coming down from Kupiansk, Liman is down here, but Proshatrevne, Kopanki, Novoyehorovka, Novosadova is one of these small ones that do not always show up unless you zoom in. And unfortunately, I cannot seem to find it right now. Here we go. Novosadova. Oh my God. Oh, geez. Deep State listened. You can actually read the small writing now. That's so much better. Okay, LJ, all I can think of is Robin Hood Men in Tights. Did you say Abe Lincoln? Zorechny, and coming into Servisk from Limon. Servisk, Bilogorivka is here. Moving down from Servisk direction to the Kramatorsk direction, the occupiers attacked 11 times in the areas of Stupochki, Pretechny, and Chasiv Yar. The enemy carried out 20 attacks in the Torets direction in the areas of Torets, Krimsky, and Sechirbanivka. Heading back to the map and going to the southwest, Slovansk, Kramatorsk, Konstantinivka, zooming in here to Chasiv Yar, Stupochny, Pretechny. Going directly to the south, Toretsk, Sechirbanivka, and Krimsky. I am really liking the new deep state map. It gives much more detailed information, and it's so much easier to read. Like Bilahora, you don't even have to zoom in like really tight on to get the name anymore. And now moving into the cross direction. Our defenders stopped 98 offensive actions of the aggressor towards the settlements of Vodnyany Druj, Zeleny Pol, Malaknivka, Pokrovsk, Kotiny, Zvirova, Udashny, Novoandrivka, Elizabetivka, Promin, Lisivka, Zeleny, Shurchenko, Upensivka, Slovanka, Andrivka, Dashny, Uklali, and Yantarny. Pretty much the whole front. Coming down to over here towards Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, Konstantinivka, Toretsk, and Elizabetivka, Malanivka, Mirlubivka, Promin, Sukovyar, Lisivka, Zeleny Pol, Novotrud, Shurchenko, Pshkyany, Kotline, Udashny, Upensivka, Yaznove, Petropavlivka, Dashny, and Yantarny. Pretty much every possible town on the front in Pokrovsk direction was assaulted yesterday. Many of them multiple times. Here's the railroad and paved road. You can see Russia is continuing to spread out along that area. Moving on to the next area, the defense forces repelled 19 enemy attacks in the Novopavlivsky direction. The occupiers were most actively trying to advance near Velika Novosilka. Coming south of Pokrovsk, Velika Novosilka, Korokova is here, and just to Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, Velika Novosilka. The situation here is not ideal, to say the least. There is this one bridge over the river, and is not very useful for evacuations. The road north to Nova Kumar is under Russian occupation. So Ukraine has been trying to get bridges over this river here to keep supplies going in. It's a dangerous situation for Ukrainian defense forces, and we'll have to keep an eye on this area closely. There were no combat clashes in the Guliopol direction over the past day. In the Orhiv direction, the enemy attacked the positions of our defenders once in the direction of Novodanlivka, and in the Dniprovsky direction, the defense forces of Ukraine stopped 2 enemy assaults. Moving over from Velika Novosilka to Guliopol, no offensive actions in that area. In Orhiv, 1 attack in Novodanlivka. And coming all the way over to Pridniprovsky direction, there were 2 assaults. They don't give us a city to judge where the assaults were, but just assume that they are happening in these little islands in the river delta of the Dnipro River. Over the past 24 hours, 12 clashes took place in the Kursk direction. The enemy carried out 5 airstrikes with 5 guided bombs and 464 artillery shellings, with 18 from multiple launch rocket systems. No signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups were detected in the Volyn or Polizia directions. Our soldiers inflict significant losses on the occupation forces, both in manpower and equipment, and actively undermine the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. Goes into the losses. We'll cover that with the graphics for the last 2 days. Join the defense forces, Razom de Peremojemo, and Slava Ukraina. Let me grab the ZSU. So let's grab yesterday's first, since I was out of it. So total combat losses for January 18th, 1,340 personnel, 13 APVs, 21 artillery systems, 13 UAVs, and 69 vehicles. For today, numbers look a little bit better. Total combat losses of the enemy as of 8 a.m. January 19th, 1061st day. Russia lost 1,580 personnel, 8 tanks, 18 armored personnel vehicles, 15 artillery systems, 36 UAVs, 2 cruise missiles, 76 vehicles, and 1 special equipment. And that is losses for today. Air alerts that are current. Donetsk has been going for 28 minutes. Kharkiv for 37 minutes. Basically going active right when my stream did. Poltava has been under air alert for 12 hours and 52 minutes. Sumy, 17 hours, 56 minutes. Chernihiv, 11 hours, 17 minutes. Kiev Oblast, 8 hours, 45 minutes. The vast majority of the day spent under air alert. Not fun. So, okay, my dyslexic brain did not read that right. I couldn't make sense of this, but Neuro was saying, well, there are parties you pay to go to them and hope their food is decent. Yeah, I'm not going to say what my dyslexia made that sound like. Here is Zelensky's speech for today.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Щойно підписав указ, який надає силу рішенню РНБО про санкції. Блокуємо пропагандистів, які працюють на Росії, осіб, які перейшли на сторону ворога, і тих, хто допомагає Росії продовжувати війну. Також ми продовжуємо позбавляти державних нагород. Названня Герою України заслуговують тільки ті, хто дійсно життя присвячує Україні. Ми готуємо зараз і нові санкційні рішення. Будуть вони незабаром. Сьогодні ж буде кілька призначень. Перше, в застосунку «Армія Плюс» завершилось опитування щодо нового керівника Національної академії сухопутних військ імені Сагайдачного. Важливо, що це рішення ухвалюється разом з нашими військовими. Головком та командувач сухопутних військ запропонували 5 кандидатів. Це бригадні генерали Сергій Баранов та Михайло Сидоренко. Це полковники Євген Ласійчук, Олександр Бакулін та Роман Качур. Найбільше голосів набрав саме полковник Роман Качур. Він добре знає фронт, він командував 55-ю окремою артилерійською бригадою. Я говорив з полковником Качером, він має бачення того, що змінити у військовій освіті і конкретно в Національній академії сухопутних військ. Доручив йому представити суспільству, що зміниться в академії, провести аудит в академії, повноцінний аудит і того, як фінансується, і того, як навчаються курсанти, і того, хто працює в академії. Доручив міністру оборони України Умєрову призначити полковника Качера на посаду начальника академії. Нам потрібна максимально якісна підготовка наших воїнів, наших офіцерів і підготовка на основі досвіду цієї війни, на основі героїзму українських хлопців на фронті. Українській армії потрібні лідери тактичної ланки, сильні сержанти, сильні лейтенанти. Я дякую всім нашим воїнам, які взяли участь в опитуванні. І ми продовжимо за допомогою Армії Плюс і інших цифрових інструментів нашої держави залучати наших людей до ухвалення державних рішень. І друге призначення. Бригадний генерал Геннадій Шаповалов працюватиме з нашими партнерами у Вісбадені. Його завдання – це координація безпекової допомоги Україні. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. So a lot of what seems to be routine tasks, but in a way it's kind of a major step for Ukraine. Pulling the military service personnel on who's going to be in charge of the Ukrainian Military Academy. That is huge step forward. You know, they're still working out the kinks of the Army Plus app, but the app in itself is a huge technological step forward for, well, any military, really. So, all that out of the way, time to get to what you guys really like, the videos. And yes, I have 2 days worth of videos saved up for you. Get a little bit of a preview, and yeah, there's one spicy one that I am going to be showing you part of. Oh no, that's the start of today. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Here's the start of yesterday's. See, on the night of January 18th, the enemy attacked with 39 Shaheeds and decoy drones of various types. Russia also used 4 Iskander MKN-23 ballistic missiles. Their attack was repelled by anti-aircraft troops. 2 of the missiles were shot down. 24 of the drones were shot down. And 14 of those drones were lost in location. Unfortunately, 1 drone made it through, and unfortunately, 1 of the missiles made it into Kyiv. Yeah, this attack was personal for me because, well, you know, like I've known locations before, but I've never visited them that have been hit in Kyiv. This place I've been to. That is the entrance to the metro. I sat down and had dinner at that McDonald's after the Azov rally. Coming back, I got off my bus. This was the metro I was going into. Like, oh, hey, McDonald's. I'll stop there. Had my McDonald's, hopped into the subway, went home. But yeah, I know this place. I've been here. I've walked this sidewalk. Went through those doors that are non-existent now. Yeah, it's a little close to home when you know, shit, I walked there at one point. Further video from it. That is the backside and the apartments behind it. Yeah, let me pause at one spot here. There's no outside seating in this area. So after I had my lunch at McDonald's, this is the backside of the McDonald's. I came over here, had my cigarette before going into the metro. So yeah, I was sitting like on that windowsill. Yeah, it makes it a little more personal for me. Interview with a soldier. He lived in Russian-occupied Donetsk when he was 13 years old. In 2022, he volunteered, and here's his interview. I thought you'd enjoy it.
Це підступна війна, яку розв'язала в першу чергу Росія, зруйнувала моє життя як дитини, як людини, вкрала в мене дитинство. Від того я, в принципі, ненавиджу Росію, ненавиджу все, що вона несе в собі, і це більш за все мене мотивує. От. Ну і захист близьких, тому що тато і мама – це все, що в мене є. Я, в принципі, переконаний, що Росія, розпочавши цю війну ще в 2014 році, вона зробила постріл собі в голову. Я переконаний в тому, що вона програє, але я б не хотів називати це перемогою. Можу сказати, що війна, де є хоч одна жертва, можна назвати переможною війною. Війна забирає найкращих.
Yeah, war does take the best, unfortunately. Sorry, I couldn't help but smirk at the comment that Russia shot itself in the head. If you knew some of the videos I don't show you, rather than being hit by drones, what Russians do, you would smirk too. Sweden has sent 600 soldiers to Latvia to guard the Russian border in its first NATO ground mission. The transfer of the unit was carried out by sea in secrecy for 6 months. The Swedish battalion will ensure security on the Latvian-Russian border. So, Swedish's first mission with NATO.
Och här bakom mig så rullar nu de svenska stridsvagnarna och stridsfordonen in i Lettland i en historisk insats. De skeppades över Östersjön i natt med bilfärja i en transport som det har varit en hel del hemlighetsmakeri kring. Och allt bevakades av det svenska flygvapnet och den svenska flottan. Nu blir de en del av NATOs multinationella styrka här i Lettland som ska avskräcka Ryssland från att ge sig på Baltikum.
Jamen, den betyder rigtig meget. Den betyder rigtig meget, fordi hvis vi sådan kigger på det rent militært, så er svenskerne enormt dygtige. De er professionelle, og de kommer med en kampkraft, som vi helt klart kan bruge her til vores opgaveløsning, som jo i første omgang går ud på at afskrække, men i værste fald skal vi jo også kunne forsvare Letland.
So, Swedish's first NATO mission. I thought that would be an interest to you guys. 4 oil depots are burning simultaneously in Russia. This was yesterday. Apparently Ingles is extinguished now. But the fires at oil depots in Ingles, Saratov region, Liski, and Voronezh region are still not extinguished after drone attacks that occurred earlier. Oil depots in Kaluga and Tula regions were also attacked and are still burning. Russia targets Ukrainian shops, hospitals, residential buildings, and terrorizes peaceful people. Ukraine destroys Russians' military infrastructure and logistics. Video from Russian soldier showing the evacuation plane fully loaded with 300s.
Полный борт раненый. Очень много парней.
And those are the lucky ones, because they actually got put on your goggles because this one's going to be cutting onions. Yana Stepanko, 13-year-old girl from the Donetsk region of Ukraine who lost her legs as a result of the Russian strike against the railroad station in Kramatorsk on April 8th, 2022. On that day, 61 people were killed, and she lost both her legs.
Мене звати Ніколас Карма. Я цікавлюся, скільки коштує ваш лук?
Кросівки, пума, десь 2,5.
Курточка.
А курточка теж 2000. Шорти це якийсь магазин, не пам'ятаю, 800 гривень. Ці ноги коштують $6000. Я протезувалася реабілітацію протезування Ван Брокен. Я сама залом з Донецької області, з Нью-Йорка. У 22-му році, 8 квітня, ми евакуювалися і ми приїхали на Краматорський вокзал. Останнє, що я почула, це дуже страшний шум в небі. І ось коли я лягла на спину і ось підняла ноги догори, то я їх там не побачила. Там було дуже багато крові. Ось і
Ким ви мрієте стати? Чого ви хочете досягнути?
я почала бігати на півмарафони. Мене вже запросили на відомий бостонський марафон, де я пробігла 5 кілометрів вже. Кожен день в мене були тренування, я займалась в центрі Unbroken. Я збирала гроші військовому на біговий протез. Мене звати Яна Степаненко.
Яна Степаненко. Ось з таких людей ми маємо брати приклад. Людина, яка надихає, яка мотивує. У вас тільки відвага, тільки сили. Стоїте, усміхаєтеся, така життєрадісна. Скільки вам років?
Мені 13.
13 років, Боже, я хочу розуміти.
Нас обов'язково треба поставити під пісню Ніколаса Карма «Тяжкий люкс». То особисте прохання Яни.
So, a fine example of Ukrainian strength, in my opinion. And we're caught up with today. The enemy attacked with 61 shaheeds last night. 43 were shot down. 15 were lost in location. And 1 in the air without combat operation is still continuing at the time of this report. Again, every morning, every night, Russia is attacking civilians. Forces News did a nice article about the fiber optic drones. I think you'll enjoy the video, although maybe not some of the content in it.
This is footage from a Russian fiber optic drone on the hunt inside the besieged Ukrainian city of Prokhovsk. In the cat and mouse game of drone development that's been the hallmark of this conflict, these are the next level. Controlled by fiber optic cable rather than a radio signal, these UAVs feed back crystal clear imagery and are immune to electronic jamming. And Russia is using them in their thousands. So what, if anything, can be done to stop them?
Interrupting the signal is very difficult because it's not broadcast. So how do you tap into a fiber optic cable? It's technically very difficult. The other option is to break that connector, if you like, and that is really the only option. Either to shoot the drone out of the sky, and you'd have to be quite precise if the drone is hundreds of feet in the air or even hundreds of meters. And the drones are not that big, so you'd have to have a pretty accurate shot to destroy the drone. More likely, the vulnerable aspect is to use a winged drone against a tethered drone, a winged drone whose wings are perhaps a kamikaze type winged drone with wings that have been configured with very sharp blades, very sharp leading edges, and literally to fly a drone of several feet wingspan into the tether in the hope of disrupting the the images and the data transfer.
The principle of a fibre optic drone is quite simple. Take a standard FPV drone and attach a reel of fibre optic cable to the body. It doesn't provide power, that still comes from batteries, but it can be used to control the drone and feed back high quality video signals, doing away with any of the radio emissions that make a UAV detectable, and making the drone impervious to electronic jamming. The weight of the fibre optic conductor does reduce the flight time and weapons payload slightly, but these drones can still fly for more than 20 kilometres into the enemy's lines and stay airborne for around 20 minutes. Russia was the first to introduce fibre optic FPV drones, using them for reconnaissance and attacks on Ukrainian forces. A 1.5 kilogram reel of fibre optic cable is enough to provide a drone with 10 kilometres of range. Ukraine is deploying its own version of these drones, with reports it's also developing sound detectors that can identify incoming UAVs. In December, the British Army successfully trialled what's called a radio frequency directed energy weapon. It uses high-frequency radio waves to damage critical components inside drones. Longer-term, lasers are another possible answer. The Royal Navy is fitting the Dragonfire laser system to its ships from 2027. But for now, finding a way to cut the fibre optic cable seems to be the only realistic solution.
You change some of those plastic blades for titanium sharpened edge blades. That would cut through a tether. So it wouldn't even need to fly into it. The titanium edge, the speed at which the blades go around on a quadcopter, you may need something slightly bigger than a small Phantom, just because of the torque on the rotor. You would need sufficient force for it to cut through the fibre optics. But it does strike me that titanium, very lightweight, very sharp-edged titanium blades would give you the lift you need on the drone, and you can control it right onto the cable, and it would be a manual cut. But I think a manual cut is still, a hard manual cut like that is still the thing that needs to be done.
Each Ukrainian brigade is said to be using around 1,000 drones every month. In many parts of the front line, they're the single biggest reason the Ukrainians are holding on. Like every development before, a solution to countering the fibre optic threat will undoubtedly be found. The challenge for Ukraine is doing it quickly before more cities like Prokofsk are overrun by the Russian army. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our...
That is the main issue on the front line right now. These fiber optic drones, they're not jammable at the moment. Ukraine is working on a solution. Um, 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade caused hell for the Russians at Velika Novosilka. One of the main battles in Donetsk region takes place in the area of Velika Novosilka. The Horde's invasion is endless, but our fighters are wiping out their companies every day. This video shows one such example. A handful of Russians were only able to get to the cemetery where they remained. More to come. I'm not sure if I should show this, but oh well.
Маршрут
Fresh grave, fresh grave.
настроен. Теперь
Fresh
двигайтесь в
digging.
сторону Украины.
Fresh digging. There is a point where I'm going to have to cut this video off. And that's the point. It goes on to show more freshly dug graves and, well, those waiting to fill them. In Kursk, a Russian armored personnel vehicle apparently loaded with ammunition, hit a mine. Well, nice big boom for you there. The strike in Zaporizhia. That's not... Okay, this part isn't the strike on Zaporizhia. This is the strike in Kyiv. Yeah, it's still Kyiv. I don't know why they're showing... Like, literally, I've been sitting in front of those stores. I don't know why they're saying it's Zaporizhia. In Kursk, a Russian assault is repelled. Shared the video with us, and here we go. Oh, you want a replay of the APV going sky high? Here it is again. This is why I didn't replay it, because I knew it was coming up again as part of this video. Yes, Azov has 3 new videos out today. Unfortunately, I can't play any of them on the air because it shows graphic material. No, that is a meat wave being repelled in Kursk. Russian decided to give you a tour of his Mercy, I'm not sure which one you mean. There's several of them out there. I do have one today. But I'm gonna have to cut this off before the video gets done. But this is a Russian showing, well, living like a rat.
Всем привет. Мой позывной Сэм, боец группы Рим. Сегодня хочу вам провести такой небольшой рум-тур по 5-звездочному отелю Труба. Сейчас мы выходим на наш балкон. нас открывается вот такой вот.
I've contacted the Azoff YouTube channel and have not heard back. Unless somebody on YouTube says I can use their videos, I do not play YouTube videos.
Вот нахуй ты сказал, что тут зажужжало?
Well, yeah, it's blurred on YouTube, but not on Telegram.
Ну вот, короче, что-то зажужжало. Скорее всего, птичка. Ладно, дальше показывать не буду. Покажу вам мой коридор. Оп. Ну, полезли. Вот мой бронежилет. Наверное, благодаря которому, блин, я еще записываю это видео. Он весь поебанный, в осколках. Оп, пошли дальше. А? Так вот сейчас вот. Вот.
And we're getting close to the part where I'm going to have to cut off, but this is basically a storm drain that him, his friend, and his former comrades are in. I say former comrades because, well, if I let this go any farther, he's going to be crawling over a mummy here in a second. So I won't let it go that far. But yeah, that is the Russians' job, to get thrown ahead and stay alive however they can. And one of those ways is living like a rat in a drainage pipe. Prisoners get taken in Voschansk, up north by Kharkiv. Paratroopers from the 71st Brigade stopped the Russian MTLB with a well-aimed shot from a single shot. I'm not sure what that's supposed to translate as. After which, during the battle with the landing force, they captured 6 Russians. The surviving Russians dismounted and attacked the building in which our warriors had set up defenses. The Jaegers called for backup and took up the fight, which lasted about 3 hours. With the support of the fighters of the assault group of a friendly unit. Hey, Blonde, I wonder who that could be. The paratroopers cleared the building and captured 6 occupiers, the brigade reported. Blonde, you still in chat? I guess she got distracted with something. But considering the area and being referred to as an assault group, I'm almost certain that is going to be the 422nd that Viper's part of. I can't confirm that right now, but just a sneaking suspicion, I'll put it that way. But that is 6 prisoners added to the exchange fund. The new mayor of Kursk that Putin put in place. I'll just read this rather than let you make you listen to his rantings. The acting governor of Kursk, also known as fucking Schmo, proves to the homeless people from Sudza who have been transformed as a result of inadequate actions of the local authorities that they are not homeless, and gently hints that if they do not disperse while he decides who is homeless and who is not, then they will get a new housing in the pre-trial detention center. So you're homeless, there to go complain that your home's been destroyed and you need a new one, and they're threatening to throw you in jail. Oh, heck, let's just watch it so you can get the tone that he's speaking to his, his people.
Пока вы меня не знаете. Представитель государства. Да, но представители государства были здесь разные. И есть у меня большое ощущение. А я не всех, Лен, во-первых, вы остались не бомжами. Потому не бомжами. Нет, вы не бомжи. Потому что бомж это лицо неправда. Бомж это лицо без определенного места. Нет, вы все получите сертификаты и жилье.
Well, let's just skip to the end.
Никаких мер никому. Потому что я здесь стою и не дам ничего сделать. Но есть закон, его не надо нарушать. Поэтому в любом случае эта встреча должна быть не более 50 человек. Хорошо. И работать, но там же должен быть не только я один, там должны быть все равно те, кому дальше это реализовывать. Пожалуйста, я с каждым районом и с Ужанским тоже отдельно проведу встречу.
Well, yeah, condescending sounds like condescending even in a foreign language. I'll read you the caption from here because mine's not as good. Good people with a jug of gasoline burned down 2 communication towers near Krasnodar on the night of February 17th. Here's the video. So, Ukrainian saboteurs working behind the Russian lines. And, oh, there was just the 6? No, there's even more. Border guards of the ZSU Border Post Brigade attack and captured. Oh, is this the same ones? Okay, this might be the same ones, but this is video of the combat action. So there they are taking out the MTLB.
Да! Отработали! Зайшли тут. Давай. Давай.
No, just some of the work they're doing. The Ingalls fires are finally out today. And we get to see a before and an after picture where you see tanks completely missing, damaged, or still smoldering a little bit. So obviously that this one, and this one are completely gone. That one's definitely damaged. These 3 are definitely damaged. Looks like these 3 are damaged as well. Maybe even these 2. But always nice to get the before and after. Here is somebody that got an angle of the strike in Kyiv this morning. 7 days, Heather. The Ingalls fire went on for 7 days. Ukrainian drone operator decided to give us a tour of the aftermath of hitting a Russian supply depot.
Не хочется сквернословить, но это просто трындец. Все, дорога заблокирована. Ни одна машина тут не проедет. Все очень жестко. Очень жестко. Это просто трэш. Все в пух и в прах разнесено. Да, не наступить бы. О, это капец. Вот что значит ландшафтные дизайнеры. Просто меняется ландшафт. Это все прилеты, ребята. Это все прилеты. Миномет, Баба-Яга и танчик. Двигаемся дальше.
And, oh shoot, I already forgot who was asking about the tank, but here is a Ukrainian tank recycling some concrete that Russians were hiding under. So, some speed metal with your hot metal being thrown at the Russians. And the Air Force doing some work, giving us a video of the highlights for the week. And here is their breakdown. Well, it's really good to see updates coming from the Air Force, knowing that they are able to operate a lot more and sharing their videos with us. Yeah. The Orange Man, whatever, it is what it is. Liskey oil field still burning after 4 days. So you want to know what it's like to be a Russian recruit that fails their mission fails their mission or refuses to go on the meat waves? Viewer discretion advised. This is pretty rough.
Я кто на вход, не понял, сука?
Да, я понял, я понял.
Дай ты нахуй.
Дай нахуй! Проверял, сука! А?
Я вам нахуй нормально опустить, нахуй, что нахуй?
Сука!
Ты что сказал, блядь?
Notice the guy has a cane.
Все, борт опиши, я его тоже нахуй.
Ну чё, бля? Снимай штаны, нахуй!
Корпус не видно.
Снимай, раздевайся, сука! Давай! Сейчас я вас всех ебать буду! Снимай штаны, сука! Пока и подачку, горит! А?
Я сам на борт записался, я сам на борт записался.
А нахуй базарите там, блядь?
Я сам на борт записался.
А? Чё, сука?
Я сам на борт записался. Я сам на борт записался, я это клянусь.
Чё, блядь, сука? Штурмовики ебаные, блядь! Я сам, сука, штурмовик, блядь! Отдельно штурмовая рота, блядь! Дай нахуй! Проиграл, ебаные, блядь!
Я этот наводный, я сам не ушел.
Сука!
Здесь нахуй, в углу станьте, нахуй, стойте, блядь.
Yeah, if that's how they treat their own. Marines, the 36 Marines working in Kursk. Here's their video. And that is the video from the 36th Marine Brigade working in Kursk. Russians decided to play hide and go seek, and, well, they lost. Okay, yeah, that's just, you have to be aware that that's how they're treating their own. Imagine what the guys in, this is what the Free Azov rallies are about. This is why Ukrainian wants their people home. Highlight video from Fatum. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The little extra effort of putting the music in time with the video. Thank you guys for the update. And just for that feels good moment, Ukrainian soldier decided to share this video with you.
Makrobober. O, spierdalam.
Yeah, the only caption I could give that was cute. United 24 put out a video about the French AMX-10 in Pokrovsk. And here is that video.
Блять, а бригада в курсі вообще про цю хуйню?
It's December, it's wet and rainy. We're near Pokrovsk with the 37th Marine Brigade. The situation on the front line is grim. Yet, France has recently stepped up to the challenge and answered Ukraine's call for weapons. Now, the only consolation Ukrainian soldiers have is that actually on the other side, Russians are also struggling with the same kind of weather. And what the Russians don't have, at least in quantity, are these The French IMX-10, delivered in a few batches recently, and the 37th Brigade might receive more these days. Let's take a closer look. The IMX-10 was first created in the 80s for expeditionary forces where they mostly faced pickup trucks and machine guns. With its 1.5 centimeters armor, the AMX-10 is ill-equipped for frontal assaults. Ukrainians learned it the hard way during the Bosch 2023 counteroffensive, but it was a lesson learned. Its main asset, speed. The AFV can reach 85 kilometers per hour. But the mud complicates everything, especially with the vehicle's wheels, Shaman, a crew member, tells us.
You see the weather, and it's not good for it. But in dry weather, it works great.
That goes with what
The
you were
AMX-10
saying
is
there.
armed with a 105mm rifled gun mounted on a turret, an asset that allowed Ukrainians to turn it into a self-propelled artillery gun to shoot up to 7 kilometers at the highest cannon angle.
The gun works super good. Is it accurate? It depends like any equipment. Usually the unit commander of the team gets some coordinates, checks the target, and then we attack.
Red commands his team. He was trained in France. This is the cabin from where he leads the attack. The vehicle's firing rate depends on the loader's efficiency. With one shot every 6 seconds over a 60-70 second period, the crew can fire 11 to 12 rounds.
Its accuracy is okay. The armor is a little weak. It is not designed for close battles. It works well. We continue to work as we should and have some experience. Thank God, and we believe in him. We'll stay healthy and continue working that way.
Red doesn't hide the situation is tough. Most recently, the Russians managed to take the village of Sontsivka. They're closing in on Kurakhove despite losing well over 1,000 men a day. They're roughly 8 kilometers from Pokrovsk, a key hub to capture the entire Donetsk Oblast, one of the Kremlin's objectives.
Kind of dates this video.
It's very difficult here. Are they assaulting every day? Yes, according to the reports, that's the case.
France delivered at least 40 AMX-10 to Ukraine in 2023 and keeps giving with a new upcoming batch of 18.
Thanks a lot, France. We need more new machines, and we'll be very grateful if you can help us.
The IMX-10's accuracy depends on drones to adjust fire, and to objectively assess the situation, nothing beats a view from the sky. After an hour's drive and a few slips on the road, we arrived at the 37th Command Center, headed by...
We work with FPV, mortars, tanks, AMX-10s. Most T-64s and T-80s operate in our direction. We use most of them in closed firing positions, which is how they're the most efficient here.
The brigade recently relocated its command center to protect it from the relentless Russian advance. The team is young, between 20 and 30, and well organized. Is lucid on Russia's advance and tactics.
The enemy is constantly assaulting Kurakhove from the right and the left flank.
The conversation is cut short. Some Russians are assaulting Ukrainian positions nearby.
Да, там вот от наших позиций до пилотов.
Блять, а бригада в курсі вообще про цю хуйню?
Ладно, поехали.
The room is buzzing with reports and orders. The hunt has started.
С правой стороны. И потом сюда? Ага.
Да.
Это вот это такой они, блядь, и бачишь там дохуя. Угу. 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, блядь.
It's all hands on deck to get the Russians before they get to the positions. And the men need a bit of extra motivation to stay focused. As we leave, the result of the fight is still uncertain, as the Russians on the screen keep evading the drones. One thing is for sure, Ukrainian soldiers' willpower is intact. The unit won't give up until the drone lands its deadly charge on the Russians, saving their brother-in-arms from death, or worse.
That is the video from United 24. And if you want to walk me through it, Death, you're more than welcome to. I'll do it here on stream. Let's see. Well, let's watch a
If you want to be
YouTube.
able to be rated/redirected to on YouTube, you need to come to your YouTube studio, go to the bottom left-hand corner, hit settings, hit community, and then we're going to scroll down to this section here where it says live redirects. What you're going to want to do is make sure that all channels can redirect to my content.
Okay, so my channel, me, settings, permissions. That was easy enough. So there you go. It's set up. I didn't know about that, so thanks for pointing that out. Russian BTR, after being hit, activated its air defense mechanism. Here's the video. I guess they ran out of ammo. I'm not sure if that was like a cook-off. It might have just damaged the trigger. Yeah, it had to have damaged the trigger mechanism. One heck of a hit by the FPV drone. That is the last video I have for you. Let's see what Dennis is showing. So apparently aviation plant in Kazan just got hit. Picture. Polish crab has made it to Ukraine. Well, Ukraine has a few more artillery pieces to wipe out the Russians. I've seen that video. I can't play it. See, Ukraine stopped an assault on the Dnieper River video by Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.
Это уже береговая линия. Здесь по факту линия фронта.
Yeah, you say last year like it was that long ago. That was 20 days ago. It was last year.
Вже їх немає, так сказати.
На праву сторону Дніпра?
Так. Почався масований обстріл. Там було замічено пару лодок. Йшли. Ну, ми їх розбили.
Вони на лодки висадились, туди зайшли. Наші замітили їх льотчики. Дали нам координати і ми по ним відпрацювали. Відпрацювали гарно, слава Богу. И знищили.
Это часть Херсона, которая ближе к Днепру. И здесь картина, конечно, ужасающая. Все побито, разбито. Напоминает осажденные города в Донецкой области.
А вони намагаються наблизитись, щоб дало їм змогу ще більше обстрілювати там Херсон і навколишні села. Є спроби противника продвинутись, закріпитись на якихось СП, да, наблизитись, але вони поки не мають успіху.
У нас виходить тут дві водні прегради. Дніпро і Конка. Вони, рельєф дуже сложний, їм пройти дуже сложно. І перейти можна тільки в декілька місцях. Либо водними, лодки треба. Всі ті лодки, які там ми спостерігаємо, вони знищені.
So there was the video from Radio Free Liberty. Trying to do fundraising for the 110th Brigade. There's a lot of fundraisers out there. There's so many units that need everything from vehicles to drones. I never can say this enough. I do appreciate all your support for Ukraine. It makes a huge, huge difference. We don't usually get to see it. These are some of the vehicles that we help fundraise in the Cars for Ukraine drive. Oh, that's prepping for the next fundraiser. Not that one. That one. Couple more of the vehicles. So it does make a difference. It makes a huge, huge difference to the guys at the front. If you guys watch Greg Terry's video today, talking about 3 vehicles go to the front and 1 returns. Unfortunately, these things get lost all the time. Trying to find the other images I have. So this is one of the Cars for Ukraine's trucks that got hit. 3 soldiers were in this vehicle. The armor It costs about $500 to put that armor in these vehicles. And that armor saved those 3 soldiers' lives when they got hit. So, $500 to save 3 lives. Where else can your money do as much good as saving 3 lives for $500? Keep supporting Ukraine. That's all I can say is, it makes so much of a difference. Yeah, I see just sometimes he has videos that others don't get a hold of because he watches the Russian stuff. So that's why I have him up here. Even the Orange Man's even making news in Ukraine, unfortunately. The cute little beaver video you just showed, but there's a lot of stuff that that one, yeah. Yeah, I'm almost afraid a little bit to go through here, but here's another fundraiser that was completed for battery backups. Even sending $5 to one of these fundraisers makes a huge difference. One of the things I'm working on in the background is I'm setting up a fund. Just something small, not extremely huge. I've put $300 of my own money into it. And basically it's an interest-bearing account in Ukraine. And what I'm going to do is set it up so that interest is paid out to the card monthly. And as I'm going through looking at these videos and see fundraisers pop up, going to use that card, send to Monobank or whatever. Let me see if I can just cover up let me get the OBS. Go full cam. Oh, wrong way. So, yes, I have Ukrainian bank account and bank cards. So I can go directly to Monobank. Go back to the scene. You guys don't want to see my ugly mug. Nothing happened with the printer. It's just I was waiting for a new pad. The printer's fine. So, anyways, what I was trying to get to is trying to set up a fund where deposit money into a savings account, and then that interest gets paid out to the fundraisers every month, and hopefully it's going to be a reoccurring income rather than just a one-time donation. I know it seems small, but it makes sense in my head. I just don't know how to explain it yet. Oh, yeah, I was hoping you would be here for an earlier thing. Let me go back to it. There's them. Here we are. So, paratroopers of the 71st stopped the Russian MTLB in the Voschansk direction. The surviving Russians dismounted and attacked the building where the warriors had set up defenses. The Jaegers called for backup and took up the fight, which lasted about 3 hours. This is the part that I think will be important to you, Blonde. With the support of fighters of the assault group of a friendly unit, the paratroopers cleared the building and captured 6 occupiers. The main thing I wanted to point out was fighters of the assault group of a friendly unit. That would be cool. I'll have to sit there and figure out how to add people onto my stream, but I'll figure it out. But I'm sitting here wondering if the fighters of the assault group of a friendly unit was Viper's unit. That's the right area. It's the job they would be called in for. Just wish they would have gave props to them in actual name if that was them. That is all the videos I had for today. Actually, maybe not. I'll save this one for tomorrow. We already played a United 24 video today. So I'll add that one to tomorrow's playlist. Looks like the air alerts have finally cleared. Just Donetsk at 1 hour 46 minutes. Currently 6:04 a.m. in Ukraine. And the Donetsk air raid just cleared. Ukraine is essentially air raid free except for Luhansk and Crimea. Stick around for a minute after the stream if you want to do some housing tours. I'm going to end the information part of this stream, play the outro, and see you guys on the flip side. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the stream. If you haven't hit the like, please hit the like. It helps the channel out, helps get the information out. More importantly, thank you for supporting Ukraine. I appreciate your support for where my heart lies. Have a good night and stay safe, everybody that's leaving. Anybody who's staying, well, I think you know this website by now. Let's go houses. No, not apartments, house. Okay, try this one. I was doom scrolling through YouTube shorts today, and there was this guy doing Canadian real estate versus private islands or castles in Europe, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but it should do Canadian real estate versus Ukrainian houses. So, yeah, this one's a little pricey than normally what we're looking at. This is about half the average price of a home in the United States, $236,600. But I think the pictures will prove that it's well worth it. So, nice living room, fireplace. That's one heck of a pantry. Not that bad of a bathroom. Does the cat come with it? I like the lighting on the walls. Its own water system, heater. Pumping up from a well, so your own private well, not city water. Different view of the living room. Ooh, nice kitchen. Okay, that's kind of a weird little cubby hole right there. Very modern, very nice, immaculate yard. Come on, go back and show us the kitchen. Oh, view from the street. Come on, go back. View from the spring without the snow on the ground. But no views of the kitchen. Yeah, we just get this one little faraway view of the kitchen. Doesn't look like the stove has been put in or the dishwasher, but there's a space for them. So, let me ask you this. How much do you think this house would be in your neck of the woods? And the only thing I really have issue with is this hallway. You know, they have a notch out here and a notch out there for the doors. Why couldn't you just... Let's see if I can find that picture. Yeah, I don't see it now for some reason. My brain not wanting to... Oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's just... like my only critique of it... Oh, there's that picture then. So there's a hallway behind here. Why have this thing in the middle of the room? Just pay the extra money, get one long support beam, support it all the way across, and not have that wall there. You have much more usable space. Three bedrooms, one bath. It looks like. No, 2 bathrooms. But it only showed a picture of the one. Let's see, where is this at? Oh, just north of Lviv, it looks like. Or right on the Polish border, that's for sure. So just south of the Carpathians along the Polish border. But like I said, it's about half of what it would be of the average house in the US. Something similar to this in the US is a minimum of 800,000. Yeah, I understand it's probably load bearing. But even split that up and put the load in the middle when just have a pillar there instead of a hallway. It's just my view on it. You get back to that picture. So even if you just had like a pillar right here and took out that extra space, it would open up that room a lot more. And okay, it would cut away some of the privacy to the bedrooms, but it's just the aesthetic I'd go for if it was me, and that's just me. You know, I keep saying it. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. Let's go to the map. And, you know, everybody knows Irpin and Bucha area. Here's a nice 4-bedroom for 89,000. This is, I believe it's in Hostomel, near where the animal shelter is. Yeah, nice big living room, nice bedroom in the first picture. Nice sized bathtub. Yeah, a little toilet closet where the toilet's by itself. I love that. It's that's a little weird having two clothes washers. Washing machines. Because that doesn't look like a dishwasher to me. And it is fairly common for the clothes machine to be in the kitchen. Oh, nice old stove. Maybe not even an old stove, new stove to look old. Got a little too many things plugged in this corner, I think. Little tree with all the kitchen scraps for mulching the garden. Wood stack in the back for the fireplace. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is the summer kitchen. The stairway up to the attic. Not a bad place. See, quiet little house in the center of Hostomel. With an area of 110 square meters. 400 square meter lot. Spacious 4 rooms with clean cosmetic repairs. Complete create comfortable living. The cabin has a fireplace which adds warmth and atmosphere. Gas heater and gas fire for warmth in the cold season. Central water, central sewer. No septic tank to pump out. There's a canopy for the car, so carport, not a garage. There is a summer kitchen on the property, which is perfect for cooking food fresh in the air. All infrastructure is located nearby, making this booth an ideal option for those who value comfort and ease of transport. Furniture, amenities, fireplace, dining area, washing machines, oven, wardrobe, built-in kitchen, sofa, refrigerator, waste disposal, central sewage, internet, desk, double beds. When there is no electric, there is mobile communication, there is water supply, and there is gas. Has bars on all the windows. See, on the property, there's a vegetable garden, a summer kitchen, a barn, a cellar, and completely fenced in. Has a veranda with individual heating. Right there in the middle of Hostomel. That could be it. One washer, one dryer, but honestly, that'd be like the first dryer I've ever seen in Ukraine. But yeah, that could be it. One washer, one dryer. Yeah, if you don't want to sell the party shack, Oh, great. Now I got that song stuck in my head. So, you know, there's a lot of places for fairly cheap. You want to be over here by Lviv? Here's 4,500 just outside of Lviv. The outside needs a little paint and some mowing or some goats. Got a well right here in the yard. Unfortunately, that's all the pictures they have. But 3,000 square meter lot, 2 rooms, fruit trees on the land, barn, garden, and a vegetable garden. Unfortunately, it's an outhouse. But, you know, fresh coat of paint, and that place would look beautiful. Okay, this has to be a mistake, but I want to look at it. Okay, I'm thinking it's supposed to be 60 US dollars per square meter. So 60 times 80. I know my brain's not working, so I have to do a calculator. So I'm guessing this is going to be closer to 4,800. Unfinished building. So you'd have to finish the inside, you know, anything like all things from the developers in Ukraine, they give you the walls and the roof, and you do the rest. Oh God, I hope I'm not getting pneumonia because I'm hearing my lungs wheeze as I breathe in and out. Cherkasky, just north of Cherkasky, near the river, $900. This is going to be another developer property. Yeah, so that price isn't going to be right. Never mind. But let's go 3,200 for a 2-bedroom. How can you find out if you can connect it to a sewer system? It's really what part of Ukraine is that in, Bill's Garage? Unless it'll tell you right on here. Usually, like toilet on site. That means that part of the town does not have a sewer system. Usually with characteristics of the premises, they'll tell you like sewers at the street but not hooked up or something like that. Yeah. Let's see if I could search it on Google. Well, there's the town. So that would be in Ivano-Frankish. Let's look at this one first, and you can already see the fruit tree, electric meter. Nice yard. Neighbor's yard's not so well taken care of, but maybe you could buy that up and double your property. Oh, that's a huge grape trellis. And not bad for 3,200. You always have the option of putting in a septic tank, Ronnie. It's not just because there isn't a central sewer doesn't mean you can't put in a bathroom. So let's go over towards Ivano-Frankish. Horodenka is here. There's nothing under 5,000, but let's reset the filters. So, right in the middle of the town, 75,000. Oh, this is a freaking mansion. I don't know about the color of the wall, that neon green just... But some paint, nice garden in the back. Cool looking well. Or you could have the septic tank pumped out when it's full. You don't always have to put a drain field in. That's a little much for me. But you wanted something more along the lines of a hermit shack? Come on. Oh, this is definitely a love shack. With all the roses. Looks like they were in the middle of redoing the roof. Well, right there at the front. Cool grape arbor over the parking area. Look at all those roses. This one was 23. There's your gatehouse. So barn off to the side. Little shed. Oh, it looks like they turned the barn into a garage and like a little, maybe a summer kitchen, a little apartment maybe. Nice garden. Oh. No entrance, one. Oh, not that one. Fresh apples off the tree. Those look so good. My mouth is watering now. Yeah, nice tile flooring. Gas meter. Still has the old style wood cook stove converted to gas though. Oh, I like those windows. Yeah, the tile looks really nice on the floor. Snuck in another apple. Beautiful designs done on the wallpaper. Yeah, here they did it in purple. Ooh, that blanket has to go though. Wow, that's bright. Yeah, and definitely have to get a flat screen instead of that old CRT. Stairway up to the attic. Looks like it's out on the patio entry area. Yep. Aw, all the roses are closed up in this picture. Yeah, it looks like you could probably even do full solar panels, a full set of solar panels up here. Oh, gotta go back. The Ukrainian chandeliers. They have the coolest chandeliers. I don't know why. And the one in the bedroom, tiled roof or ceiling. It looks like a metal roof that they started putting tile redoing, so it needs some work, obviously, but all the paperwork's done. So that's one step you wouldn't have to worry about. Oh, there's a lot of buildings there. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the outhouse. So you get 8 outbuildings with it. So but that's not too bad for 23,000. And that was just outside of the city you mentioned. That's the city you're talking about. This might be a little more your style, though. In a forested area, away from the city. I definitely have to paint the outside because that baby blue is just a little too bright for me. Yeah. Well, on the property, oh, purple chair. Yeah, not a whole lot of pictures, but there's 13,000 for you. There was one other one I wanted to look at. Just south along the road, 29,000. Okay, this is going to be a developer property. Garage right there. Basement. Oh yeah, you'd have to do the finishing on the inside, but nice big patio or balcony up top. Yeah, you have to render the brick on the inside, but that's I don't know if you know construction enough. Looks like a pretty decent place. Just have to put the floor in for the most part. Now, this is the garage, or the garage is over here. Entryway, stairway up. Main floor of the house. Second floor, out onto the balcony. Oh, there's a barn on the building or on the property too. Yeah, wouldn't be bad if you knew construction. Little pricey for me. Let's get back over there. Now this is a little farther away, but next to a forested area. Only 7,900. Wow, that's a big well. Not very fancy house, but what more do you need for a party shack, hermit shack for 7.9? Going right back into that same area. If you want to go more remote, so I'm thinking those are grapevines out the front. Place looks like it was abandoned and they just cut down the grass there. Can't tell if that's the house or the barn. Oh, that'd be something you'd have to look at before. That's a long, long house. So it has a barn on it. The barn is attached to the house. Okay. Has the cathedral of the plot. Large green yard. Convenient access along the main road. Nearby is a large forest and beautiful nature. The Dniester River's nearby. Shops, post office, pharmacy, and a bus stop. Stove heating, metal plastic windows. Habitable condition. Call and write only people who intend to buy. We will agree on everything. So open to negotiation, it sounds like. Electricity. Unpaved parking for cars. No gates. No fence. Views of the mountain. Documentation's done. That's a big headache that you won't have to do. And there's a nice little place for $5,000. Are you trying to say he's doing the van life, Bill? Metal plastic windows are newer windows. A lot of the houses will say that like wood windows, and those are the old ones that are not very energy efficient. Yeah, I know the feeling, Aussie T. Have a good one. I'm just hoping my mic isn't picking up my stomach growling. So if you really want to go hermit, but don't need the mountains or anything like that, there you go. Last house out of town. So you got like a neighbor and then your next neighbor's. Is he growing hops? I think that might be hops that he's growing. Wait a minute. Okay. So it looks like they tore down the old house and built this place in its place. Storage unit for all the construction materials. They still need to put the ceiling in. Looks like they're piping in from the well to feed a pressure tank. Well, everything's roughed in for sewer and running water. Yeah, I don't get why there's a lot of construction projects that like get part of the way finished in Ukraine that don't get finished. So the blueprint of the place, entryway, corridor, bathroom, 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, living room, kitchen. Not too shabby. Summer kitchen behind the house. Oh, that's a side entrance into the kitchen. Oh, looks like they put down the stuff for the heated floors. That would be really nice in the winter. Yeah, just put down a clay floor over top of it, and there they are smoothing out the clay. So, 99% of the project done. It just needs to get finished. No, 75 ain't bad. I mean, considering what you'd pay for something like this in the States, you know, the electricity's not ran to the house yet, but right there's the pole with the extra wire to go to the house. Now, sewer's already done. I kind of want to see the garage. All ready for the fence with a cement barrier around the property. So is that the back of the house or is that the back of the barn? That's the back of the barn. I could picture myself parking my tractor here. I just can't picture myself affording that price. That's the back porch looking into the garage. You can go outside and not have to shovel snow to open your door. And back to the beginning. Which one do I want to put it in? I'll put it there. Yeah, this area up here, Volene, really beautiful countryside. Yeah, just pick a spot at random. Okay, the church. Let's pick another spot. Yeah, I could see myself fishing there. Well, you might have problems seeing your dog for 3 days, but very flat land, but nice pine forest. Let's see, where was that one at? No, it's not that one. There's one of these ones up here. There we go, this one, right? No. Okay, cheating time. Okay, so okay. Lutsky. Okay, here we go. This is the town. Closest I can get is here. I'm sold. Be tiptoeing through the tulips. Yeah, big sky country. There you go. Let's see, that was the town. No pictures there. No pictures there. No pictures there. They're trying to keep it hidden. Boys being bad. But even where the boys are being bad. Air a couple towns over. Yeah, get the leaves changing color. Yeah, I was pretty far away from there, but that's not the place. Nova Posta, a church. Oh, here's pictures of the town. Yeah, go mushroom picking. I wouldn't recommend picking the red mushrooms. Yeah, somebody went mushroom picking though. But that is pictures from that town. And it looks like that building might be this plot right here. Let's see. Green roof in the back. Looks like a four-way intersection. No buildings back there. Four-way intersection. Looks, it could be this place right here. Yeah, there really isn't any other places with a four-way intersection. Let's see. And that green roof in the back might be this place right here. So I think it's this intersection right there. And right there's your forest. Might have to travel a little bit for fishing. Let's see. Yeah, you'd have to go up here for fishing or down to the river. Holy criminy. Yeah, in case you're wondering why the blanket, look right down there. -5 Fahrenheit. It's cold. That's not a bad place. I wouldn't get that close to Belarus. No, another place here for 75. Oh, I love those floors. Oh, that too much wood in the entryway, in my opinion, but the rug does a nice job of breaking that up. Oh, bathroom already installed. Although I don't see the commode. I'm really liking this one. This one's nice. No, the barn, house, satellite dish. So if you didn't want to do the finish doing the construction, much smaller property. But I do like the wood. Does that make you feel better, LJ? For my fellow Americans that don't understand Celsius, and that's saying it's -3 where it's -5. And it's probably like -10 on my thermometer. Where's this one at? Bills? So that was the town we were looking at. This place is just down the road. Go over into the ravine. There you go, 14. Aw, chickens come with it. Okay, that is a weird property shape. See, what's the one for 60? Siri's trying to listen into my conversation. Again, construction that isn't finished. There's a lot of that in Western Ukraine. I don't understand why. Let's go further to the west. Again, looks like a new construction that somebody didn't quite finish. Started doing the landscaping. Let's try by the Polish border again. Okay, this is looking okay. Nice fruit tree in the front yard. Interesting little stairwell. Nice kitchen. So dishwasher, stove, microwave. What more do you need? Oh my God, it has a flat screen TV. It's not the first time I've seen it, but it's a rare thing to spot in some of these houses. Oh, that wood paneling. That's so cool. Now, see, that's the kind of blanket I can get behind. Not super bright that you're going to go, ah. Tub and sink means sewers are already in. Oh, tell me that's a sauna. Oh, greenhouse. Okay, I'm liking this place. Grape trellis over the picnic area in the backyard. More fruit trees. That is so cool. There's your front yard. Green fence. That's not bad. Out of my price range, but I like it. Yeah, the thing that sold me was the greenhouse. Come on, get back to the greenhouse. Just think of all the stuff you can grow before anybody else gets a chance to grow it. Be the first one to market with fresh tomatoes. How far from Lviv? I don't think that's far from where you were, K-Bell. So Lviv's here. That place is right there. Come on. So that was a place right there. Lviv's right here. So it's right about here. From there to Lviv. So 117 kilometers to Lviv. downtown Lviv, but I'm down for that, Lynn. I mean, literally, you're walking distance to the Polish border. Yeah, the Helm crossing's right here. Border crossing here. Let's see if I can narrow in this place a little more. Novovakin to the north along the bend. No, right about here. This would be the general area. Let's see if we can zoom in and find it even better. So, Toro Yorinka. Here we go. Hey. See if we can see. Yeah. Doyorinka number 2. Doyorinka number 2. There's the house. So, little entry gate there. Sidewalk along the side. And there's the driveway. Oop. Oh, nice little corner lot, so you'll know you won't have neighbors on one side of you. Okay, what do you call a hangman, Mr. Squiggle? I don't understand that. Oh, handy. The message right below it. It's not that there's not a lot of handymen in Kyiv. It's that a lot of them aren't wanting to go work because, well, they don't want to get harassed on the street. Yeah, I know the feeling, Mr. Squiggle. Yeah, it's a nice place. I like it. I really that and the the grape arbor, that makes me wish I had money. uh it's 11:20 here. I'm gonna call it a night, mainly because I got to go to the bathroom and my stomach's really starting to growl. Let me copy this on. And Ronnie. There you go, Ronnie. That link is sent to you. I'm going to call it a night before nature decides it's tired of waiting for me. Thank you all for coming to the stream. I appreciate you very much. Stay safe and have a good night, everybody.